So, in this audio, we're going to explore what nonviolent communication, also known as NVC, actually looks like and sounds like in real life, especially in close relationships like couples and families. So, NVC helps us connect more deeply with others by focusing on honesty, empathy, and shared humanity. And it has four kind of basic steps. Number one is observation, number two is feelings, number three is needs, and number four is requests. And we're going to walk through examples of each, starting with couples and then showing interactions with kids and extended family. So, for starters, imagine a scene where one partner is coming home and sees that the kitchen is messy, um, becomes critical and attacks the other partner, who then feels a sense of deep shame and anxiety and maybe even a fear of abandonment at that. So here's one version of communication that does not utilize nonviolent communication principles. Jamie comes home. Unbelievable. You couldn't even clean up? Do you do anything around here? Other partner responds, God, I knew you'd say that. You hate me. Just admit it. You wish you'd lived alone. So clearly, here criticism is fueling shame, fear, and emotional volatility. Okay, version number two, where one partner uses nonviolent communication, the other partner still doesn't. Jamie comes home, sees the messy kitchen. Of course you didn't clean up. What do you even do all day? The other partner, Alex, responds, When I hear that, I feel hurt and panicked because I need to feel accepted and seen as trying, even if I didn't get everything done today. Can I share what's going on for me this afternoon? Jamie, sure, share whatever. I just think it's ridiculous that I have to ask every time. Alex, I hear that you're frustrated, and I imagine it's really hard to come home to a mess when you're already tired. I want to help make things easier on you. Could we figure out a way to talk about chores that doesn't feel like blame for either of us? So in this example, Alex doesn't react to the sting. He validates his partner's frustration, shares his own vulnerability, and keeps the emotional connection open. Okay. So another scene here where one partner, Jamie, is criticizing Alex. Alex shuts down and leaves the room feeling ashamed and angry. Jamie, in this scene, has a fear of rejection. So in version one, where there's no nonviolent communication, this is how it goes. Jamie, so now you're just ignoring me. You always do this. I'm not worth your time, right? Alex, forget it. You wouldn't understand even if I tried to explain. So Jamie's protest behavior meets withdrawal. There's no resolution, just distance. Okay. Version number two, where Alex uses nonviolent communication. Jamie, just walk away, like always. Maybe you should just leave for good. Alex, when I hear that, I feel overwhelmed and really hurt, like nothing I do is ever enough. I shut down early because I felt ashamed and angry, and I didn't know how to say it safely. I want to find a way to stay present without either of us feeling attacked. Would you be open to talking now, slower? Jamie, you're just pretending to be calm so I look like the crazy one. Alex, It sounds like you're feeling really alone and scared. I want to understand what was going on for you, too. I care about you, and we're on the same team here, and I'm not here to blame or judge, just to reconnect. So, what Alex does here is he models regulation, empathy, his willingness to stay soft in the face of Jamie's storm creates a space for repair. Now, here's another version, another scene where Alex sends Jamie a few texts that get no reply. Alex then fears abandonment and lashes out. Jamie feels blamed. So Alex, cool, ignore me. I guess I'm not important enough to get a response. Jamie, seriously? I was in a meeting. You're acting like a child. So clearly no nonviolent communication here. There's just a fear of abandonment that's triggering contempt and defensiveness, and there's no repair. Now, version 2, where one partner uses nonviolent communication, in this case, Jamie. Alex, wow, so I don't even matter anymore. One message and you disappear? Jamie, when I hear that, I feel a bit caught off guard and pressured because I need to trust and have space sometimes when I'm busy. I want to understand what you felt when I didn't reply. Can you tell me more? Alex, you want me to explain? You ignore me, and now I have to explain how you hurt me? Jamie, sounds like you were feeling scared and hurt. Is it that you need to know I still care, even if I'm not able to reply right away? Alex, yeah. It's just like you disappeared. So in this case, Jamie de-escalates the panic spiral by naming underlying feelings and staying curious, not getting defensive. And now, in this final scene that takes place after a fight, Alex feels ashamed and anxious. Jamie wants reconnection, but fears rejection. So, version 1, Jamie says, "Are you going to stay mad all night or what?" Alex responds, You think saying that's going to make me feel better? Just leave me alone." So, no nonviolent communication here. There's no vulnerability. Shame meets frustration and blocks connection. Version 2, where one partner uses nonviolent communication, in this case, Jamie. Jamie, I've been feeling disconnected since our argument, and also scared you might be pulling away. I'd really like to reconnect, but I want to go at your pace. Would you be willing to talk for a few minutes? Alec, what's the point? You're probably just going to tell me how I messed up again. Jamie, I don't want to blame. I just miss us. I imagine you might be feeling a lot of shame. I've felt that too before. I care about you and I care about us, even when things get hard. Alex, I didn't think you'd say that. I do want to talk. I just don't know how to start. So in this case, Jamie leads with vulnerability and deep empathy, softening Alex's protective wall. So something that's really interesting to point out here is to just notice how in the cases where there was nonviolent communication being used by one of the two partners, how the partner's emotional grounding can shift the tone of the entire conversation, even if the other isn't ready yet. So, for example, in going back to scene number 2, when Jamie criticized Alex shut down and left the room feeling ashamed and angry. Jamie was the one being critical and saying, just walk away like always. Maybe you should just leave for good. And Alex's response there was emotionally grounded in sort of a vulnerability and an empathy that didn't get caught in the reactivity to Jamie's criticism. So Alex said, in that case, when I hear that, I feel overwhelmed and really hurt. I don't know what to say. Like nothing I do is ever enough. I shut down earlier because I felt ashamed and angry, and I didn't know how to say it safely. I want to find a way to stay present without either of us feeling attacked. Would you be open to talking now, slower? So what you can see here is an observation when I hear that, a feeling, I feel overwhelmed and really hurt, like nothing I do is ever enough, an explanation, I shut down earlier because I felt ashamed and angry and I didn't know how to say it safely. And then a need, I want to find a way to stay present without either of us feeling attacked. And then a specific request, would you be open to talking now, slower? So that's a great example there of how one partner's emotional grounding shifted the tone of the entire conversation, even if the other wasn't ready. So I hope you found this little audio recording to be useful. Recommend listening it through a couple of times to really get a clear sense of what communication sounds like when using nonviolent communication and what communication sounds like when it's not there. And then going out and beginning to implement these principles in your actual relationships. Starting with the observation, moving to the feeling, stating the need, and then moving to the fourth, the request.